Good morning, everybody. It is June 8th today. So, what you're looking at here is a baby Bourgault. This is a hoe drill. I think it's a 2005, and it is a Bourgault 5710 Series 2. I don't know anything about it, but Ash and I, we just bought this drill, and the reason why we bought it is because the 84-foot drill that we're currently using is awesome. Really like it, but it is very much too big for a lot of the areas, a lot of the nooks and crannies, lots of the little sloughs, the little islands that we can't get to. They're just not accessible, and that actually adds up. All of a sudden you realize, man, I might have to go back for like 100 acres or 200 acres or something like that. So we needed something small and something nimble to get in there and get the little island seeded and seed out the washouts that we're still running with water that are hopefully drying up right now. And so this is what we bought. Now again, I know nothing about a 5710 Bourgault. I know nothing about that. I'm more of a Flexicoil 5000 kind of guy, but this is basically almost identical to the drill that Ashtyn learned how to seed on. So she got to learn on like the Cadillacs, an actual hoe drill. I learned how to seed on a Massey 360 discer. I was pulling 218 foots, 36 feet, in a Steiger tractor at first, and then moved up to Case 9270. That's how I learned how to seed. And believe me, the Massey 360 discers, those were the Cadillacs compared to the old Massey 36s. So, and then again, I graduated up to the Flexicoil 5000. I'm more of a Flexicoil 5000 kind of guy. I know those tanks and those drills by the back of my hand. And then from there, graduated up the Case drills, foldbacks, and then from there we went up to the Bourgauts. So, which we currently are running right now. So in saying that, Ashtyn saw this drill and brought back a lot of memories, so we picked it up here, and we're going to hopefully try and figure out if we can make it work. I think it's a 2005, and I think the tank is a 1997. So this is 39 feet or 40 feet or something like that, and we went with the rubber tire. Well, I should say, we went like it was an option. It wasn't an option. It just happens to have these Packer tires on it. I think they actually have air, which is awesome in mud because they flex, but it's also a terrible con because just imagine having that many tires that could possibly go flat and lose air. That's not a good idea. But anyways, they do really work good in mud from my little bit experience with the Case foldbacks that we had. Also hoe drill, and we had a set with Packer tires because it followed off the Concord style Packers. So in saying that, the cart here is a 4300, and look at that mighty auger on this puppy. It's going to be a lot of fun. So it's a 4000 series cart. It's 300 bushel, and it is broke up into 3 hoppers. You got one main one, and there's one little one right up here in the middle that splits them. I do not know the bushel capacity of each of them, how they're split up. My guess, without even looking at it, my guess would be like 125, and then the difference. That'd be my guess. So yeah, it is double shoot. I don't know about these gigantic openers. That's gonna pull nice. But anyway, that's changeable if we want to do that. Now, it does not have banders. I'm not sure what they got going on here, but they were just blowing it in front. So I guess that's what we'll be doing. I guess the good thing is, if it was wet, you could just blow your canola right up here, throw your fert down with that, and then since that's such a big opener, it would disturb the soil enough. It'd be almost like harrowing. So that would be good for canola in wet conditions, I guess. Well, we're not going out to seeding canola sloughs. The canola is done. We will be seeding wheat and we'll be seeding oats. So we're probably just going to blow out some fertilizer here, and then we're just going to put the seed down with the shanks. Probably asking, well, Mike, what's the difference between a Series 1 and a Series 2? This is clearly a Series 2. I actually have no idea. I have no idea. Maybe, I know on the Flexicoils, it was an option on the newer models that you did get the dual casters. On the first gens, you just had a single, I do believe. So maybe that's what it is. I have no idea. Hasn't seen many acres. or not hard acres, hasn't been pulled out at all. This looks like just a Valmar plug. And I was looking at this here previously. We're gonna have to put this is your return line, and that definitely won't go into any of my tractors, so we're gonna have to do a little adapting here. I hope we don't have to spend too much time on this. We just got this, and it was literally a last minute purchase just due to the amount of sloughs that we're leaving. So hopefully this doesn't take very much work to get going. It's got some grease on it already. We're gonna wing it down, and don't worry, we do have these pieces of pipe. So the cart was always shedded, apparently, all of its life. It's 1997, but it's always been shedded, and the cart is in really good shape. It's mechanical drive, which is awesome. I actually prefer that. It's basically, to my knowledge, similar to a Valmar. You just look at how many bushels you want to put down and what flighting of what auger you want to have in there and what crop you have, and you just put on the appropriate sprockets. And I hope that we don't have any issues with these clutches. That would probably be the only weak part. I did spin everything. All the augers, they spin. No big deal there. Obviously, dual fans. Manual auger. I don't know if that's a 8-inch. It looks like an 8-inch. That's what it looks like. But so yeah, that's pretty much it. So hoping Ashtyn's gonna come out here a little bit later. I'm gonna get it hooked up. And so Ashtyn actually ran 4350. So basically it's the same series cart. It was still mechanical, I do believe. It's just 50 bushel bigger capacity. And then the drill, I think it was a 3-plex, just like this is what I believe it to be. Hoses look to be in okay shape. Be good enough for the few sloughs that we need to do. And then maybe this summer we can look at rehosing this 2-inch stuff if need be. Some of the sidewalls are cracked on here, which is a little bit of a concern because these tires are tubeless. I believe they are tubeless. And this one's flat, of course. Have to check. Yeah, like the tires, like having tires as packers is great in wet conditions, but oh boy, that's a great work project and a headache when they start going flat. This cylinder here was leaking, and they put new hoses on it, and they put a new shaft in. The shaft was shot, and they obviously did new seals as well, so it was leaking at the dealership like that, so they got us all fixed up. Appreciate that. Thank you guys. All this single run hose is pretty new. I don't even know how many pounds these trips are. I'm sure you guys do. Coming off a FlexiCoil, we had the 550 pound trips on our FlexiCoil 5000. These are definitely not that. If I had to wager a guess, it'd be 350, but I've been known to be wrong before. So this is a hoe drill. So let's get this thing hooked up. Well, Mike, what are you going to pull it with? Well, that's a really good question. I'm going to pull it with 1167. Oh, talk about serious overkill. Oh my goodness, we gotta be careful and pull the thing right in 2 pieces. But no, the John Deere, which is same horsepower anyway, both those tractors are major overkill, is on the Pro Till. And the only other option we have here is the Fendt 724 front wheel assist dualed up 710s on the back. That would probably pull it. That would typically be our go-to, which is over there on the grain auger, by the way, if you're wondering where it is. But with those openers, I don't know how well it's going to pull it. Those pretty big openers, because this is a 10-inch space and there's quite a few shanks in the ground. So it's going to know it's back there. That's for sure. And because it's only 240 horsepower, do you really want to put, I don't know how well it's going to pull it, in the same sentence as I'm going to go out and seed sloughs that are probably still wet and muddy? I don't think you want to do that. So for wet sloughs and stuff that are probably still muddy, we're going to use something with overkill, so that way we know that we're not going to have any issue pulling through those wet spots. Why put a tractor on that would pull it really good in dry ground but be questionable in wet ground when we have other options available to us? Although this 724 would look pretty sweet on here, I have to admit. But it's not going to happen this time. So anyway, enough talking and yada yada. Let's hook this thing up. All right, let's wing this little thing down here. Okay, it's a preset on my tractor that it revs up the hydraulics. It revs up the RPM when the hydraulics are activated. Don't really need that, but... Oh, like a Flex Coil 5000. Why out the back? Why isn't that other one coming down? I better get out. There we go. Boy, this seems small, I'm not gonna lie. But I love it. I like that it has dual casters on the end. Gonna have to go down every one of these back. Oh, this one's flat. Put some air in these back. Oh, that one's flat. Put some air in these things. Maybe a guy can fill them with some foam or something. And so basically what I got to get done here is I need to put the monitor in. Oh, these bushings, that doesn't look awesome. Apparently these are somewhat common, these bushings to go. And I'm thinking maybe this summer we'll put new ones in. But for the little bit of slews we got, this thing, no matter its shape, unless the cart literally falls off, we got to put these on. The cart was actually unhooked. So that's the reason why those aren't there. We'll put these puppies on. And yeah, like I said, unless the tank falls off, we're gonna keep seeding. These bushings here too. Yeah, I think we're gonna put some new ones in next year. For next year is what I meant to say. For next year. Okay, I gotta get working. So Ashtyn and Dono and I have been working on this drill. Ashtyn just had to go feed Chapel. But as you can hear, we got air. We got air. Fans are running. Dono's putting on some sprockets. Checking for air leaks, checking her auger. Oh, before you turn the auger on, I guess. Now it only runs one set of hydraulics to run that auger, so that second fan is still running. You would shut that off if you're actually going to load. Check for some air leaks. We don't know if our clutches work yet. There we go. We got one air leak right here. We have to tighten this up a little better. We know that all of our bearings are good. So a few hours later here, we have the monitors all wired into the tractor, all wired to power. We got to do a little more cleanup here with some of these cables and hoses. With these clutch plugs, wiring harness, these are the exact same ones I use on my Valmar. But anyways, we did not have power to one of the clutches. And apparently I don't have a test light up here yet. So Donald found us a light. And this was literally our test light. We just kept plugging them in, see if we had power, traced it back. Here, it was just a bad connection after we tore a bunch of the wiring harnesses off. Here's a bad connection between the tank and the drill with one of these. And I pulled them all apart, sprayed electrical cleaner in them. We actually grabbed a little wee flat screwdriver, like the size for your glasses, and we were just rubbing at each opening, and that way we were just trying to shine it up to get a little better. I don't even know what I'm talking about. Donald says I'm just slurring my speech way more than normal. Like, you can't even understand me. Like, it's so sleep deprived, it's not even funny. We could just, yeah. But we're pretty much ready to rock and roll. Put our tubes on. I think I already told you that. And everything works. We just have no idea how to calibrate this thing. And I don't know about if, I know we got to use it. I know we got to calibrate it because there's calibration boxes here. I was hoping we wouldn't have to calibrate it. Maybe we wouldn't have to, but I know that we're going to have to figure out what flighting we have in there, so that way we can put the right chains and sprockets on. How hard can this be? Where's Ashtyn when we need her here? Okay, so another hour or two later. Yeah, we're not calibrating nothing on this thing. We're not going to do that. So we figured out which is our drive sprocket and which is our driven sprocket, okay? So one is your drive. Now I can't remember because I always get them confused. I always got, oh, right here it tells you this, right here. So your driven sprocket and your drive sprocket, okay? So drive, driven. So then you have to figure out, this back hopper has a single flight auger. You have a center hopper in here for like canola or Foss with a triple flight auger. And then this one over here, which is going to be a fertilizer, is a double flight auger. So unlike our new tanks, this older tank, you can't just be like, oh, I actually want the front tank to be my seed. Well, maybe you can, but not very easily because it's literally one with the tube. So if you want this one to be your seed, well, this one is going to your mid-row towers, your tower. Like, you can't change that. And they made these pipes 2 different sizes, so that way they cannot be interchanged, okay? So if you want this one to be your seed, which is normally your fertilizer, you're gonna blow your seed right up on top on the ground. So that's not really an option for wheat. We don't really wanna do that. So the seed is gonna go in the back, which is gonna make it come out the boots. Fertilizer is gonna go in the front, which is gonna make it get blown out in the front, and then it's gonna get stirred up with those big openers. And then this little middle tank here in the middle is also plumbed right in to go in with your seed, right there, that one, and there's nothing that you can do about that, and that's fine. That's for our Foss, that's what we want, and that's for canola as well, if you want to see canola. The split is about 120 bushel, 120 bushel, and 60 bushel there in the middle. And to predetermine what you want, now you know, you have to first know what kind of augers you have in each. We already established that we have a single flight in the back. We have a triple flight. I know I'm pointing to a double, but we have a triple flight in the middle, and we have a double flight up front. So this is just kind of a quick reference to my understanding. The book actually has all the breakdowns of everything. So say you want to go to wheat, right there. Okay, there's your wheat. There's your density that they're using. So say you want to seed this wheat at, say, I don't know, let's say 134 pounds. You would need a drive sprocket number 21. And this is where I was stumped for so long. I was like, well, where's the driven sprocket? Where's this correlate? Like, you know. So actually, I know, I had to open up the manual, you guys. I had to open up the manual. And then right there, it showed me, it had the whole wheat breakdown. It said drive sprocket this one, driven sprocket this one. So then we just put this, oh, and they're stamped. And I should note that when it says number 20 or number, oh, hold on, let me zoom in on this. Number 22 or number 23, that's the teeth, okay? These are the teeth. So you count them, but don't waste your time because they're stamped right here. So this one here is number 36. This big guy is right here, number 72. So they're all stamped, and you have a whole whack of different sizes of sprockets and lots of doubles and triples, and you know, you got 236s and 221s, so you can do both rates. You got different lengths of chain. There's that chain, Dono. We just put a new chain on in here for our ground drive right there because we're like, hey, the chain's gone. Dono, the chain is right here. We went, oh my goodness.
We got a spare.
We now have a spare drive chain. And then you have, I guess, some spare other chains, or maybe because of the different size of sprockets would require a different length in chain. Would make sense. Okay, So we're not going to calibrate, and the reason why we're not going to calibrate, because we're going to have it pretty dang close by given the size of the sprockets that we put on. And so maybe it is off by a couple pounds, and if it was off, it would be because maybe your 4600, which you put the sprocket on for, is not necessarily a pure 46. Maybe you're like me, you have it blended. Maybe you have some potash in there. Maybe you have some sulfur in there. That would throw off your density, which would then throw off your ratio, because they're going off of, you know, a particular 4600 density. I really don't care about that. Okay? Who cares? We're just going out to do some slews. If it's off a pound or two, it doesn't really matter. And no one has time to sit around here and try to figure out calibration. They'll be like, okay, actually, I want to, instead of sprocket number 26, I want to put number 25 on. Okay? We're not worried about that. We just want to get to work. We're going to load it, and then we're going to wait for Ashtyn to come out. So our auger works. We're pretty excited about that. Everything seems to work. All the clutches work. Fans work. Auger works. We've sealed up an air leak or two. Our packer tires are holding air for right now. And we're going to get to getting, but I'm going to let you guys go. You guys have yourself a good one. Adios, amigos, and I'll catch you in the next one. See you later.